co-feature of the evening there in Queens. Shakur Stevenson versus William Zepeda. Now, before the fight, you said it in the preview that Shakur is a complete fighter and that maybe Zepeda is the exact opponent that he needs to bring out that fight in him. And he didn't run. He stayed in the pocket. He was on the ropes at times, but he fought an efficient, clean, great, impressive performance by Shakur Stevenson. Credit to Zepeda. He didn't back down. He kept bringing it all night. Unbelievable heart. His first loss, but got to give it to Shakur Stevenson. Impressive performance. What'd you make of it?
Everything that you just said, I echo that. But again, not trying to pat myself on the back, but I called it. A lot of people disappointed in Shakur, and a lot of his fights said this will be his coming out party. This in that way. I know he's been around. He's been a champion. I get it. He's a silver medalist. I understand all that. He's very well known. He's made a lot of money, all that. But this will be the one that finally satisfies people as far as seeing him fight or do what they think is fighting. You know, because he'll tell you he's been fighting. And I'm not going to argue with him. But to make a stand, to make a stand, make a guy miss, but also make him pay. You know, to let your offense be part of your overall greatness, of your overall effectiveness, of your overall defense. You know, if you complain about anything with Shakur, it would be he's too good. He's too shadowy. He's too ghostly. He's too good defensively. We want to see, some men on base once in a while. We go to a baseball game, we want to see a couple hits. We want to see, a couple balls, a couple runs go up on the scoreboard. You got to see that in this fight where he not only was smart, he has great eyes, by the way, radar eyes, great. All these fighters that are those kind of counterpunchers, those kind of defensive whizzes, those kind of just consummate boxers, they have good eyes. You have to have those radar eyes. He sees everything coming, pop, 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 and he's just able to pick it apart. He gave you a little bit of everything. He stood his ground in the pocket. He made you miss. He made you pay. He blocked. He caught, and then he punched right back. He counterpunched. As I said, he did everything that I think people were waiting to see him do. He showed his fast hands. Yeah, he's not a huge puncher, but he's an effective puncher. He definitely made Zepeda pay for coming forward and think about coming forward and thinking about how fast he was going to come forward. All the credit in the world to Zepeda. All the credit in the world. And you mentioned something earlier. You said he didn't run. Of course, Shakur, he didn't run. Let me tell you something. If he ran, he would have lost the fight. He knew what he had to do. If you want to call it running, you want to call it moving, whatever you want to call it. And the people have accused him. And I understand it, of running in the past. But he had to fight this kind of fight for two reasons. One, for his reputation, for his existence. Just even though he would tell you that don't matter, I'm undefeated, I'm a champion, I understand all that. But it does matter. It does matter. It matters. He's a proud kid, he's a young kid, he might not tell you, but it does matter. He felt very good, probably better than he has for a while, getting out of that ring last night, because it did matter what people will say about him now. Even though I get it, I understand. You don't care about what people, you only care about the people around you that matter and your family and all that. 100%. But it does trickle in there. It does get through. It does, you do feel it. You're human. And he felt damn good. And he deserved to feel damn good coming out of that ring last night. He really did. He got what I talked about, I think, a little bit when I made the comparison, and they're not exact comparisons, but when I made the comparison of Sugar Ray Leonard, a very talented, I think one of the greatest fighters of all time, Sugar Ray Leonard, a very talented fighter, fighting Duran, the great Duran and losing, but the way he lost, the way he fought him, that gained him more fans and more admiration and respect from the boxing fan than any of his wins, because they saw him the way they wanted to see him, that he was more than just a talented guy. He was more than a privileged guy. Yeah, I'll say it. That was doing commercials, that was, won the gold medal, was making big money, everything else. That he was also a fighter. He was something that they could feel satisfied that they got their money's worth, that they got more than just a guy who's born with more talent than them, that he was a guy that's also willing to do what they got to do sometimes. Dig down when you don't feel, go to work when you don't feel like getting up and go to work. That's what the fans want to see. And they saw that in Sugar Ray Leonard in the first fight with Duran. And they saw that the other night. They saw that last night. They saw that with Shakur. And great fight. Terrific fight by Shakur. Credit to Zepeda, too. You were just in there with a really exceptional fighter. Great eyes, great hand speed, putting punches together, controlling distance well, understanding what the distance was. And again, understanding that he could stay in the pocket and still be smart and still be the better guy. He put a display of boxing on. He did.
Yeah, great performance by Shakur Stevenson. I thought it was a little bit like Mayweather-Madonna-like watching that fight in spots at times. And credit, like you said, to Zepeda. He deserves a long break after this one. Like you said, the tough fights versus Farmer. Now this one. But when he's back, he'll be a tough out for anybody in that 135-pound weight class.
Yeah, definitely. And, look, he did everything that he could do. He was just in there with a superior guy, and a guy who was, what he knew he needed to be. And I said, this will be the last thing. I said last week, Bud, that this fight will do one of two things. And it wasn't harsh what I was saying. It was truthful. It was to the point, which is what I usually try to say. For Stevenson, this fight was either going to make him great and show how good he is, or it was going to expose him. I said that. A lot of people were, whoa. No, it will. Because there was a lot of people that didn't think he had the heart. They didn't think he had the intestinal fortitude to go along with that great talent. The way they weren't sure Sugar Ray Leonard had it when he fought Duran. And then they found out he did. And he was able to have both, the talent and the stuff they want to see. He wasn't exposed. He showed what he had been telling everybody that he was always capable of doing. Good for him. And good for Zepeda again for not backing down and giving every ounce of himself.